It really is good to see everyone. The energy in the room is palpable. There's a good spirit amongst us. The spirit is definitely moving, I think. Just listening to some of the stories of things that are happening. A mortgage of a building is about to be burned this week. Challenging sermons in one place is being received with great appreciation, right? Go after those social justice conversations. We can preach the gospel, it's okay, right? So just great energy in the room. It's great for us all to be together as always, and love seeing you. If you need to get up and move around, please do. I know it's kind of tight, so we'll try to keep you entertained. Oh, there's Mike Fedua. Hey! He's retired. I'm surprised to see you. You look really good, Mike. You know, thanks for letting me pick on you. Oh, wait, I'm off page. We'll start with a prayer. The Lord be with you. Let's pray. God, by your grace, you have called us in this diocese to a goodly fellowship of faith. Bless all our clergy and all our people. Grant that your word may be truly preached and truly heard, your sacraments faithfully administered and faithfully received. By your Spirit, fashion our lives according to the example of your Son, and grant that we may show the power of your love to all among whom we live. Ever-living God, whose will it is that all should come to you through your Son, Jesus Christ, inspire our witness to him, that all may know the power of his forgiveness and the hope of his resurrection. And then, hold on, let me find it. Keep your heads bowed and reverent prayer. God our Father, you see your children growing up in an unsteady and confusing world. Show them that your ways give more life than the ways of the world, and that following you is better than chasing after selfish goals. Help them to take failure not as a measure of their worth, but as a chance for a new start. Give them strength to hold their faith in you and to keep alive their joy in your creation. And, Almighty God, you have blessed us with the joy and care of children. Give us calm strength and patient wisdom as we bring them up, that we may teach them to love whatever is just and true and good, following the example of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, y'all ready? So we're going to start off by backing up a little bit from what we did last year. And then I'm going to kind of bring you up to speed on sort of where we are in the diocese as a result of our convention and restructuring. And then we're going to move forward into talking about something that I have become aware of that I wasn't as a priest and as rector of a congregation, but as bishop you see things a little bit differently. What I'm calling my concern about the consumer mentality or a consumer-orientedness that has invaded church. So there's a lot in that, and we'll try to unpack it. And this is a work in progress. I'm still sort of thinking through it. We can talk about theologies and sacramental theologies primarily around these things. I would love to have further conversation, but I'm concerned, and I'll talk more about it, I don't want to preempt too much, about how we are awash in a consumer, excuse me, you are going to be bathed here, just so you know. I'll try to drink a lot. I'll stay
consider it baptism.
Yeah, I'll stay hydrated. Right. We find ourselves awash in a consumer society, and I think that reality has invaded how we do church, and it concerns me. And so I want to talk about that, okay? So now I'm going to pass out. I didn't want you to have this too much in advance, because what you'll do is you'll go down and you'll look and you'll read ahead. But here's the outline to kind of walk through. So you can write on it, you can do whatever you want, but okay, I'm going to pass this out. Just kind of go around the room. So as that is coming around, it's just an outline of what today's, what I hope to get to today. I don't know that we'll be able to get to all of it. I want to leave room for you all to have some quiet reflection on your own, for us to have some conversation around some of the topics that we'll be introducing, and stuff like that. So last year we had a conversation about adaptive leadership. Remember adaptive leadership? Anybody? So adaptive leadership is something that I discovered while at the Baby Bishop School, which I graduated from. Thank you. I guess I'm more of a, more than toddler bishop now. This is my 5th year now. And I'm still standing. Thank you. You may just go into song at any time. I have no problem with that. So adaptive leadership comes from work done by this group of guys, Heifetz, Grashow, and Linsky. They're out of Harvard, and it's not specific to church management or church leadership in general, but it applies. And the reason why I found it so interesting is that we find ourselves in a rapidly changing society, and in a church which I believe is in Reformation. We find ourselves in a time of Reformation, not unlike we experienced 500 years ago in the Lutheran sort of led Reformation, in which the questions of what is authority, how do we understand authority, are being wrestled with. And I think we're struggling with similar sorts of questions of authority now. What does it mean to have authority as people of faith today? And so how do we, as people of faith in this Reformation time, learn to lead in this time? And so adaptive leadership gives us some ways to think about it. And so what you'll see on your handout, everybody have it, is just a quick review. So adaptive leadership is the practice of mobilizing people to address tough problems. Their word is problem, my word is challenge. Right? Because we don't have problems in the church. We have challenges and opportunities. Because the truth is, and this is a theological statement, Jesus has already saved us all. Amen. Amen. That was good. Hey, thank you. Right? So it's not a problem. It's a challenge. And it's an opportunity for us to continually change our worldview, our perception of reality, to incorporate that reality, right? How do we see the world through that lens? I was with I won't say who I was with because it'll be the other way. I was with someone recently who was telling me everything that they were going to do and to make things better in their little system, because they had it all figured out. And I was really happy to hear that. And I had to remind them that, they didn't really have to save the world because Jesus done did it. It's already saved, right? And you don't need to be Jesus. We already have Jesus. And Jesus is alive and well, and we ain't him. Or her. To be Christ-like is to be fully ourselves. To be fully yourself. If you want to be Christ-like, don't be like Jesus. Be like yourself. Be yourself. Be your full self. which is a lifelong process of becoming, right? So we don't have problems, we have challenges. I mean, yes, challenges. So adaptive leadership is specifically about changes that enable the capacity to thrive. And we look at our systems and our organizations and our church structures and how do we adapt, make changes that enable us to thrive. So you already heard us talk about the task force for vitality, right? How do we create processes and systems in this system so that we can help each other thrive, right? That's what we're seeking to do. Successful adaptive change builds on the past rather than jettison it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? How do we build on the faith, on the theologies, on the sacraments, on the structures, on the goodness that already exists? We don't have to start over, we just need to adapt. This is an evolution sort of process, right? And I think that's very true. So, successful adaptation changes build on the past rather than jettison it. We have a lot of wisdom in this room, right? We need to embrace it, incorporate it, and then shift to the times. Organizational adaptations occur through experimentation. It's okay to try something new. I just sounded real Kentucky there. Try. It's okay to experiment. It is okay to fail. You know the whole thing, throw spaghetti on the wall, whatever sticks, good, that's fine. That's sort of been my mantra. And it's been interesting because in the process that we've engaged, there's been a lot of anxiety, there's been some anxiety around, well, we need to have it all figured out before we go. And I'm like, can't do it. That's kind of not faithful. We just need to go, and let's work it out as we go. Right? Let's just get on the road and see where this thing takes us. And let's just go in faith. And if we make a mistake or if something goes wrong, then okay, we just learned something. Let's start over and learn from that and build on it. But you have to have sort of a risk. You have to be risk adverse. Right? And that's not something that the church likes. Oh, you scared me now. We never did it like that. Or we did it like that in the 1950s and it didn't work. We tried that, 30 years ago, and, it just failed. Okay, well, that was 30 years ago. Times have changed. Maybe something might be different now. It's okay. So let's not worry about failure. Let's just experiment. So an example of that has been, we just sort of threw out the idea of the church swap. Let's just throw that out and see how that works. Well, it worked well in some places, and it hasn't worked well in other places, and okay, that's fine, great. At least we tried. So, don't be afraid to experiment. Adaptation relies on diversity. That's not just diversity of color or gender, but of thought, of experience, of expression, a ton of ways of thinking about diversity. And our need to embrace and welcome it however it presents itself to us. And that is very Anglican, right? This is what Anglicans do. We are Big Tent, right? There is no dogmatic statements of faith. You have to think and believe and act like this, right? That we want the full expression of creation to be brought to bear so that we can learn from it and see the glory of God's creation in all of it. It's not just white maleness. Thanks be to God. Right? We've had enough of that already. Yeah? And the world is beginning to change in that, I hope. That we will begin to recognize the value and appreciate the value of all persons. Right? We'll come to baptism of covenant in a few minutes. Right? So we need the diversity of thought, diversity of opinion, diversity of, we're not in lockstep here. And that's what society wants to do. That's what we want, to find people who are like us and then hold on, right? Let's all think alike, and I'll feel more comfortable and secure in my being right? And that's just natural, particularly in a day like today when the world is being intentionally, Russian bots, seeking to separate us. If you're on social media, you know what's happening, right? We are being inundated by others who are seeking to divide us, because our great strength as a nation is our willingness to stick together, even in our diversity, right? And there are those forces that want to divide us so that we can be conquered. It's just pretty much Napoleon military tactics. It's not difficult to understand what's happening right now.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. So, diversity is important. Adaptation significantly displaces, re-regulates, and rearranges old DNA, and that's scary. Right? Oh, wait a minute, what's going to happen if we don't do it like we've always did it? There's a fear of change, but I think the fear of change is not in change, but in loss. What will this change? What in this change, potential change, may I lose? What might be lost for me in this? Power, position, comfort, security, what is it? And so I don't think we mind change. If you won the lottery tomorrow, that would be a change you would be really pleased with. Just remember the church. I'll take 10%. And then you can give the rest to right? Yeah, that would be a good change. You would be okay with that. Yeah. But if change affects or threatens some sense of loss, then we kind of go, whoa, the change. Right? Wait a minute, the change. And in this season in the church, we may fear the movement that's amongst us in the Spirit because of what we fear we may lose. You see what I'm saying? But the good news is that last November in convention we voted to go anyway. Let's change, right? We'll come back to that. So this is the fear that adaptations can displace, re-regulate, and rearrange. And then lastly, adaptation takes time. It's not happening overnight. It's not a quick fix. Right? We look at the challenges that we face, and we want it to happen overnight. Let's just do this, right? Which we'll come to in a second. So a couple more points on adaptive leadership as a way of backing up to catch up. So there is the illusion of the broken system, according to these folks. The illusion of the broken system. Well, it's just broken, right? The church is broken. That's what people say to me all the time. Well, Bishop, if we were just doing this or just doing that or we were just doing this, it's broken. If young people would just come into the church, we'd be fine, right? If we could just attract young people, this is going to slip into the consumer mentality kind of thing I'm talking about, right? No, there is no such thing as a dysfunctional organization. I'm sorry, don't throw anything at me. Because every organization is perfectly aligned to achieve the results it currently gets. Right? Do you want to chew on that one a second? Yes, Mike?
It's like we get the government we deserve.
We get the government we deserve. It's like we have more power than we want to admit we have. We have lots of power. And I think we're afraid of it. It scares us. We can do really anything we want to do. Y'all. We can do whatever we want to do. Anything. Put a man on the moon, right? We can do anything we want to do. It's just, do we want to do it or not? What are we gonna be brave and bold enough to go and do? We can do whatever we want. And then it goes on to say, the illusion of a broken system. Embarrassing or not, the organization prefers the current situation to trying something new, where the consequences are unpredictable and likely to involve losses to key parties, right? So we just need as a people who are desperately needed to be the people that we are called and baptized to be in a world which is fractured and being pulled apart at the seams, to not be afraid to be who we are. And to be willing to change, to be the people that the world needs us to be. Because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? So, and then and this is my favorite, this is truly key, and take this back to your vestries, many of you are on vestries. The most common failure in leadership is produced by treating an adaptive challenge. So what we're seeking to do is to address our challenges in an adaptive fashion. Those 6 points there, right? Recognizing that there's no broken system. By treating adaptive challenges as if they are technical fixes. We are facing, this is an adaptive challenge, it's not a technical fix. A technical fix would be, let's hire a young youth person, right, to be directed at just youth, so that we can get young people in. That's a technical fix. That's not going to fix the problem, the challenge, right? It's a bigger challenge than just getting butts in the pew. And when people say to me, you know, Bishop, if we just had young families, then we'd be fine, what they're really saying is, we need somebody to pay the bills when we croak. And my grandfather would always say croak. He wouldn't say die, he would say croak. I think he didn't speak very good English, but he really liked that word. When I die, when I croak, you have to take care of these things. So croak. We want people to pay the bills when we croak, to maintain the system that's already broken. Not broken, that needs to be fixed. That needs some challenge stuff done. So we can't throw technical fixes at it. Let's get that quick fix in, right? We're Americans, can't get her done, that type of thing, right? No, that's not how we need to be thinking about this, and we're not. If we try to throw a quick fix at it, we're just going to break it worse. A technical fix. The copier's broken, you call the technician. That's a technical fix that will work, right? Trying to fix the challenges that we face by plugging a program, right, won't necessarily get it done. Okay? Good. So, that sets the scene for where I hope we are going in terms of the type of leadership that we're seeking to provide. That's me, we, I'm the royal we right now. Right? That this is an opportunity. I want us to see the reality of where we exist in this time and frame, and to give us tools for how to engage it, right? How to think about it, how to process it, and to succumb to the desire to quick fix it. To just go back. If we could just recreate the 1950s, all would be good. It would, except there's a lot of things in the 50s that were not great. Selective memory, right? Civil rights. Shall we just start? You know, there's all kinds of things. There was never, that desire for nostalgia is detrimental to our future. Build on it, name it, let's go. That church is long gone. There's a new church that the Spirit is calling us to, and she is having her way with us right now. She is slapping us about saying, hey y'all, look, that didn't work. That worked for then, it doesn't work for now. We got to come together. We need to think fresh about who we are and what we're about, and let's move forward. So that's what we're trying to do. Quick questions. Adaptive leadership. Is that helpful somewhat? Check the book out. There's a lot of stuff online. You can just Google adaptive leadership or Heifetz. Heifetz is really the guy. He's really good.